Oh, what's up, everybody? I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. My daughter has a soccer tournament here for Olympic development programs. So I actually got to thinking about some coaching stuff while I was here. And my wife doesn't want me doing this, but I got to get this off my chest because I don't want to forget it. I think that a lot of coaches go in like they're the expert and they know everything. And the bottom line is the more clients, the more students, the more athletes you work with, the more experience and perspective you have at how to deal with different situations. So something I said in the car that I wanted to film but I forgot, and it was honestly too dark to see it, is a coach's best teacher is the student. And here's why. For example, if I'm training a group of children and I notice that 2 out of, let's say, 15 kids have an issue with valgus of the knee, right? And I address it with certain methods that have worked in the past, but they don't necessarily work now, that means I need new methods to fix this. Now, if there's any bit of the population that has issues with these things, then it's something you absolutely need to address that's much more widespread than we know of. So, how do we go about doing this? Well, number one, you need to look at this from all aspects. If, for example, you're doing the diet and training of an individual and they get to a stick point where they can't lose fat anymore, where they can't lose weight anymore, then you have to go to plan B. Now, for me, what I've noticed, even though scientifically it makes no sense to me, if I have someone who's at extremely low, as we call them, poverty macros, and you can't get them to lose weight no matter what without taking them to dangerously low calorie amounts, then I found that going to keto for that period of time, for a small period of time, 4 to 6 weeks, will not only kick them out of that fat loss plateau, but will also help to increase fat loss when you end the keto. How do I know that? Not from reading studies, not just from taking myself into a show, but from actually working with people and working through how to solve things. Now, how do we get to the point where we can solve issues? We can solve physical issues. We could solve metabolic issues. We could solve adaptive issues. We could solve all these problems. Is number one, you need a good scientific basis for how to do it. If I know that in the short term, a ketogenic diet might have some benefits, then I'm going to give that a try if one of my clients stops losing weight. If I know that applying unilateral movements like mini hurdles and utilizing mini bands and utilizing different techniques to strengthen and activate the glutes, thus taking the pressure off the kneecap and the ankle, thus preventing valgus, then I'm going to be able to actually apply those methods to fixing these athletes. So this is going to be a quick video that I think a lot of coaches look at themselves as experts, as people who know everything. Because you have people paying you on Instagram to do their diet programs, you're coaching kids, you're coaching athletes, and you look at yourself via because your education, because your certifications, or just because you have 500,000 followers on the gram, you look at yourself as this omnipotent, all-knowing force. When in reality, you're an omnipotent, all-knowing farce. And you can never know everything. And no matter what there is, you ever see that show House, right? Solving these medical mysteries, but he gets it wrong the first time, every time. I know it's for good drama, for good TV. But look at it this way. We don't know everything. And the reason they keep conducting studies is because there's never a conclusive study. There's studies that demonstrate, but there's rarely ever studies that prove. And that's why we're all scientific agnostics at the end of the day. We are agnostic in our belief as scientists, as researchers, as people who carry out experiments. We are agnostic in that we don't accept one thing as the belief. We accept things as having a lot of evidence to back them, but rarely ever will you see a real scientist say, this is the way. He will say this is indicated, this is demonstrated, but rarely ever will you see them just nut up and say, hey, this is how it is. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. I want to get that across. The bottom line is, the take-home message is, a coach's best teacher is his clients, is his students, is his athletes. And you never know everything. There's always new stuff to learn. And how do you learn it? You apply